Alright guys, what's up? It's guide time. Now, this is for the free to play people, so everybody else who's paying and everything else, you can watch the next video, because this ain't for you. Free to play people. Alright, need to talk to y'all really quick. The reason why I was telling you guys to slow down is because I didn't want you to end up at a certain battle power and get frustrated. People disputed that and said, well, why don't you just run ahead and do this, blah, 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 and that's not gonna work, because what's gonna happen, and I hate to do this to this person, is you're gonna end up like this person right here, level 61 with 8,000 battle power. And yeah, that's probably because the person was just leveling and just didn't heed that call to slow down. That's not good to be that high up and have only that low. They probably have barely done anything elite. They have barely done anything plot hardly other than like the bare minimum, barely doing anything survival, barely doing anything in the exam, and that causes you to have battle power under 10,000. So that's why I was telling people to slow down. There's nothing wrong with it. I understand that you want to be up here standing tall with the rest of the big boys, but if you're not paying, that's going to be really hard if you don't control yourself and do it properly. So with that said, let's talk about a few things, because a few things are different in the American version than the Chinese version. We don't have certain things that I had in the Chinese version, so I have to actually change my outlook on this. Now, you can actually spend and get enough coins to do everything you need to do up until level 48. Once you start getting to level 48, things get hard. We basically start the coin starve, because there's not enough events and things happening in the game to supplement the cost of how much everything costs. Like, it's still the same cost that's from China, but we don't have the same events to pay for the same things that I did in China, so I have to kind of tell you differently how to handle this. Now, what you basically want to do from there is everybody who's offensive, including whoever's in the back, you want to make sure that you level up your Kage sword and your Jonin scroll. That's your attack right there. Defense stuff becomes secondary once you start getting around level 48, except for the people who are in front. The tanks, which in my case are Hinata and Kiyomaru, you start worrying about them. You start worrying about them having their full gear up until the closest level of power where you're at. And then from there, you stop. Don't worry about the defense stuff. Like, do your best with the attack people with defense. Go to your group skills, start donating whatever's left in there. Probably have like 100k or something like that, 150k, 100, 200k, depending on whatever you feel. If you feel that your gear is just behind, and your skills is up closer, this is kind of a thing of how do you feel about it. This is not necessarily whether I'm right or wrong. You know your balance and your characters better than I do, because I'm not playing your characters. So at that point, you have to figure out what's best for me at this point. Do I need more defense? Do I need more life? What am I gonna do with that? Magatama and refining. Now, refining, you want to do your best with refining. You want to at least try to, make sure that you at least have 1 or 2 levels of refinement. You just have to, because you won't be fast enough to hit anybody, even if you have like the best Magatama. So try to make it so that you rotate every day. Say you build up a certain amount of coupons. Okay, today I'm gonna buy 10 refinements. Tomorrow I'll buy Magatama. Like, rotate every day. Keep doing it like that until you get to a happy balance of maybe you get stuck, like you start getting something like level 3 or something like that, where you can be happy. Same thing with Magatama. Magatama is easier because that doesn't have a fail state. It just basically goes. But refinement does have a fail state, so you have to be cautious and careful of that, because you can end up an entire week of actually trying to level your gear and it won't do anything. It'll just sit there and look at you. This event is pretty good for that, to make that not happen, but in normal cases that does happen sometime. Like, you can just keep leveling gear, and it just doesn't do anything. It's just the bad luck of the situation. So definitely keep that in mind. As far as your characters, when you're free to play, you more than anybody else have to focus. You have to focus, and I would say focus 8 characters. Even though you need 12 for rank battle and stuff like that, do your best to make a mash team, so to speak, and the 9 through 12 spot. Like, get some people together. Maybe you get some new people, and then somebody will fall into that spot. a little bit easier and stuff like that, but concentrate on 8. You can't afford to concentrate on 12 if you're not paying anything in this game. It's just not going to happen. There's not enough resources and there's not enough events to do stuff like that. It's barely enough events for us to do it who do pay for stuff in this game, so it's definitely not going to happen if you're free to play. So just keep that in mind. The same thing goes with upgrading. Focus upgrade. Make it, when it comes to upgrading, you now are focusing on 4. Just 4. Don't focus on 8. Just focus on 4. Because what you need to actually be doing is you need to be upgrading your gear in your characters. So if you try to upgrade 8 characters, you're probably not upgrading your gear, and that's not gonna happen. Like you just need you need all the stamina that you can basically get to spend on everything. So keep that in mind. This was just something a little bit for, actually, you know, I got one other thing. Your summons. A lot of people still are not doing this. Your summons. Please make sure that you go to each and every summons at least once, because you get free seals and you can turn around and use those seals for power. That's very important. A lot of people I see, hey, well, you know, I'm concentrating on this one seal or something like that. You see, like, I almost have them all done now, except for the special ones. I only have 4 left of seals before, I mean, of the summons before I don't have to do this anymore. Just get there. You even get a free seal when you complete it. And you get, I believe you get something special when you get all of the main ones too, and the title. I think you get a title. I'll find out. I think you actually do get a title though. But definitely make sure that you do this, because it's power. It's free power. Like, these animals can't kill you. Why not go ahead and do that? You know, why not let it fly? As Smooth would say. Make sure that you pay attention to this. Put it on a timer. Yo, if you gotta wake the F up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to cut this game on and do your timer, do it. Because if you sit there and wait till like 9-10 o'clock in the day, you're wasting hours and you won't even be able to do stuff like this. Like, that's really sad. Like, don't let stuff like that happen. And I think that's about it. Other than you doing everything else is just like common sense, to be honest with you. Also, money tree. Don't let money tree lag. See how I just let money tree lag? Like, I'm being bad. That's bad. You don't do that. That's bad Scion right there. You don't let that stuff lag, because whenever this is not counting, you are not making money. So I go here. Make sure I actually do people who I haven't. Yep, I've done that person before. So let's go down here to Alan. Alan, you get the props. Do my commission. There you go. And yeah, make sure you do this. See that what that right there, that's bad. That's bad gaming right there. It's bad Scion for letting that happen right there. You don't let that happen. That's coins that you need. Now I believe that's it. So for you free, this for the free to play players. Like, no, this works for pay to win people too, but this is more or less for the free to play players. All right, so you guys be legendary, and I'll see you next video. I'd like to thank everybody for 10K subs. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. And if you liked what you saw in this video, please click the top right to click more of my videos, or click the bottom right to subscribe to the channel. Once again, one love, peace, and I will see you next video.